All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Ben's Brick Designs. I'm Ben. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I appreciate you stopping by and spending time with me today. Hello, Jake. Hello, Missy. Hello, Johnny. How are you guys? Thanks as always for being part of the stream. I appreciate you coming by. Today we're doing some building. I was very excited about this set specifically because it's a space set. I'm kind of a space nerd, as you can see. I've always loved rocketry and the space shuttle program, and sadly my brain wasn't smart enough to be an astronaut, but I always loved watching the rocket launches, and we went on some tours of Mark Marietta when I was in the Scouts, and we visited Cape Canaveral when I was a kid. And I collected the shuttle mission patches. So like, I'm a huge space nerd. I love everything about it. So classic space has always been fun. I really like that they're doing NASA stuff more recently with the Artemis program things, and the shuttle, the Saturn V, the space state, the International Space Station, the SLS rocket and gantry. Those are always really great. So I'm excited for this set. I didn't know it was going to come out until about a month ago, and then suddenly it was out, or was released and then coming out. So I knew I had to get it, but then I also knew that I had to get it because this was the GWP. So I made a decision to spend the money that I was saving up for other things to start building, or get this so I can start building it. This will do on a different stream at some point, I'm sure, or at the tail end of this one. We'll have to see. I know Johnny was saying he was trying to get parts for this in different colors, so that'll be fun to see. If you ever post that, you can check it out on our Discord, on my Discord channel. Hopefully he'll post those there. But in the meantime, we're gonna build with and the camera, of course, rebooted. And yeah, there we go. Okay. So not even opened yet. I'm sure that the set's in here, but I haven't opened it yet. This is of course an unboxing video. You're gonna make classic space ones: black, blue, white, and yellow. Nice. You're not gonna do the new turquoise one that they're talking about that leaked. Ooh. Oh, it's gonna be hard to see on that camera, but there it is. Rarely see a flat box like this. So there we go. There's the Shuttle carrier aircraft. This is an icon set. It is 2,400 pieces. It's actually a little more expensive than I thought, but it was only 220 bucks. So 2,400 pieces for 220 bucks isn't a bad part per piece ratio, but since we're not doing the part per piece ratio, now it's a whole other metric of what's the mass of this ship, of the set, how long did it take to build, were there nice building instructions, were there more prints than stickers. This looks like there's going to be some stickers on it. I'm not terribly thrilled about that, but we'll see as we go. So let's get into it. I've already got the wrong page up on the instructions here. I skipped down a little bit to judge the size, but it looks like book one is going to be about the shuttle. 2,400 pieces. This may be a 3 or 4 build stream. I won't know until I see how many bags are in here. And we're just going to dump all the bags. According to the box, it looks like there are working landing gear right here. Looks like there's working landing gear. a working payload bay for extra engines, so you can. I lost the camera again. Oh no, there it goes. Nope. Okay, 1 second. I'll switch the ports. So this has got the cowling to cover the engines. You can put the engines back on if you'd like. It also comes with a stand with lettering for both the aircraft and the shuttle. So I'm very excited to get building on this. We'll just have to see how many bags we got to work with. The Space Baby instruction colors are rough. We'll have to take a look at that at some point. Ooh, look at this. This is interesting. The bag that the instructions come in, and probably the stickers, is a paper bag. And it has glue on it to allow you to not have to rip it. So the whole reason for having instructions anymore for me is to be able to scan those QR codes to get points. But now you need to have an app on your phone in order to do it. So I haven't even tried that yet. Still have all my instructions, but that upsets me a little bit. That's a sizable sticker sheet, but I'm okay with some of it. Mostly because it's, you know, they don't want to print. For an icon set, I would think that they would print on stuff, but I'm kind of not happy that these are stickers instead of printed plates specifically. The rest I'm okay with because it's pieces that you'll probably use. You can take the stickers off later. But yeah, these two display plates stickers kind of a letdown. But anyway. All right, so let's see if we can find our beginning point. 15. Here's 1. Start with 1. So how's everybody doing today? How's your weekend been going? $15 so far is the highest. If 15 is the case, so we could do about 4. This might be a 2-streamer, which doesn't seem that big. Maybe 3. A bag every half hour, minus me talking this whole time. Oh, 16. So if it's 4 bags an hour, should be able to get this done in 4 hours. But I can see this actually taking 3 streams. Let's have to see. It doesn't look like heavy. It doesn't look heavy Technic. So that's working. Worked in the yard yesterday, going to see the musical today. That's cool. I remember you talking about that. All right, let's get working. So I am very tired. We've been watching, not because of this, but We've been watching a friend's dog since Friday, and they're coming to pick him up today. He's a sweet little dog. If he'd let me pick him up, that's him back there. He's a little French bulldog mix something. His name's Loki. He's super adorable. He's very sweet. He's very snuggly. You sit down on the couch and he's like, I'm on you on this couch. Don't even worry about it. It's a unique bag of not very many parts. But that hasn't been the tiring part. Here they're making more, they're packaging more sustainable. If anyone hasn't noticed already, you can use the Builder app. All right. In the 70s and 80s, NASA and Boeing joined forces to create innovative technology for transporting NASA's orbiters, commonly known as space shuttles. The idea for airborne means of transportation arose from the tangible challenge. Ground transportation was both challenging and time-consuming. Teams from NASA and Boeing collaborated to explore if and how the Boeing 747 series, originally designed for commercial use, might be re-engineered to serve as space shuttle carrier aircraft. So this is all the history. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but this is the history of the program and how it was used and everything. I just remember this being the coolest, weirdest thing. Like, this was the future's here now. We've got reusable spacecraft that can be flown around, and it was very cool. So yeah, this just goes into a little more about the how the plane was built in order to take the weight and be stable and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, more about the design team. Some more about the model itself. The shape of the Boeing was achieved through innovative building techniques and clip and bar connections. So, all right. So yeah, yesterday was an Austin FC game as well, and while we didn't win, we also didn't lose, and we didn't look like garbage like we usually do. So we kind of called it a win because we were playing a team that beat us 5-1 the last time, and it was terrible. So the fact that we got out of there with a 0-0 tie was good, and it was good to see all our friends as usual. It was a little stressful. We got there not really late, but kind of late, and it was really hot. Like, the game before, it was 100 degrees at kickoff, but it didn't feel too bad. This was a humid heat, and it was brutal. Yes, it was a win in a sense. We felt good about it. The team looked great. They had one goal taken away because they were offside. But overall, they looked cohesive. They looked like a team that had been playing together for a while, and they gave Vancouver a run for their money, for sure. We were all a little upset toward the end because you could tell they were getting tired and they hadn't subbed anybody in yet, so we were all yelling at the coach. Of course, the coach can hear us from way up in the supporter section with the band playing and everything. It's very integral that we shout as loud as possible for that reason, because the coach needs to hear our opinion. But yeah, we got real soaked yesterday. There was a lot of water throwing, which is good because it was hot. But it also means, like, we wear the patch cuts, the battle vests, and they get a little stinky after a while. And I just washed mine, and everyone's like, why did you wash yours mid-season? I'm like, because I had beer thrown on it last time. Of course I'm going to wash it. But it also means hopefully I don't have to wash it till the end of the season again. I like these pieces, these giant wedge pieces. I rarely have a use for them, And they take up a lot of space in my wedge plate drawer. I need to break these out and get their own drawer. So you can already tell with the size, this is not going to be a huge space shuttle, probably about that big. And then the plane itself will probably be that big. What else is going on? So we've got some Lego news, not a ton. I think the Sherlock set already out. I know somebody did a review of it already. Space Baby's out. There's something else I was gonna... Did I bring my phone in here? I did not. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I have a pause screen specifically for that, yet I almost never use it. Let's see, reviews about the bust. Oh yeah, there's a new Lego City tower that celebrates all the different styles of the city stuff. And it looks fine. I mean, it's not amazing or anything, but it looks good, you know. It looks like they're trying to recreate the Ninjago tower a little bit. Since they've seen that people like that. More of these pieces, these red corner pieces. Can't wait to get more of these in stock so I can use them. I did not get the Lego. I say Lego like you guys don't know what I'm doing. I did not get the Ninjago City, but I heard it was a great set. A lot of fun to build. The closest thing I got to it was Welcome to Apocalypseburg, or just Apocalypseburg. I don't know if there was a welcome in front of that or not. I won that. Iceberg Bricks. Mo, I think his name is? Mel? Long time ago, years and years ago, I won. He had a contest on his channel. It was funny because it wasn't one where you needed to be active. You could just leave a comment on a post that he made, and then he would on stream say who won. And everyone's like, you better, you know, they were messaging me like, you better get in here. I think you won something. I was like, what? So, yeah. And then like right after that, I won another giveaway from Beyond the Brick. And they were giving away, the Hanlons were doing a Mack truck, the Technic Mack truck, Mack Anthem. Which as a non-Technic person, it was interesting, but I didn't keep it very long, and I ended up either selling it or giving it to, or trading it into Bricks and Minifigs. Same with Apocalypseburg. I broke it all down and sold it. But I mean, I had it displayed for a long time, and that was a very fun set to put together. Lots of little nooks and crannies and little bits inside the model that were fun. It had a lot of stickers, but overall it was just a treat to build. It's one of those builds where it makes you want to build stuff like it, which is, I think, one of the highest praises you can give a Lego set, is something that makes you want to build more, right? Because it was all the little, you know, oh, this is a tattoo parlor, or this is a weight, you know, this is an exercise room, all the while being apocalyptic, right? Very Mad Max, but they still needed a workout room, you know. It was great. I loved it. All the little stories that it told along the way. So That's one of those I wish everybody could build it once. You know, you don't have to keep it, but, you know, get the opportunity to build it. And I feel like there should be a service for that. I think there is, where you can rent Lego, which I never really understood until a little more recently, where I was like, yeah, you know what? I wouldn't mind renting Lego. As long as it wasn't almost the same cost as buying it, I would pay for the opportunity to build something. So I may look into that, because more and more I like to build things, just for the act of building them, but also, oh, this is super satisfying right here. This little piece goes in. Oh, look how nice. Yeah. Opportunity to build stuff, but if it's something that I don't really think I'm gonna keep, like I don't have a display for it, this Lego tower set, I'd like to build it. I think it'd be fun, but I don't have anywhere I'd put it in my house, and I don't need pieces for anything anymore. I've got plenty of pieces, and what I don't have, I'll get from Bricklink, right? So anymore, it's just the excitement of building. Not as exciting as building your own stuff. So if you're ever able to, you know, design your own sets and things, that's the best. That's the best feeling. But yeah. So yeah, good time last night. Friday we didn't do anything because again, we were watching the dog, and we weren't really sure how he's going to react with our dogs. He's a boy dog and he's older. He's a small, older boy dog. So we're not really sure how he's going to interact with our younger, female dogs. Why, you little lech, you dirty old man, you. So he's fine, and he's fine. Like, he snuggles on the couch. He sleeps in bed with us. He does a weird thing where he like burrows on the couch. Like, he just rolls around and burrows and has a great time. And Aggie, the little dog, cannot handle it. Like, she freaks out. It's so funny. She's like, what is he doing? But he has been a treat. So, which I feel is good to have, to know. I'm happy that we're able to do this for our friends. To know that you can go on a little trip. Like, they're going down to San Antonio. They're going to be gone for a day, 2 days. And, you know, I like being the friend that you can have that will do that for you. Not every dog. There are some dogs. We have some friends who have dogs where we're like, I don't think we can watch your dog. We had one dog that we watched, a friend of ours, that was a giant boxer. Like, had to have been like a Mastiff boxer mix or something, because this thing was like 130 pounds. Mostly just shoulder muscle, right? Just this massive dog. And his name was Max. I don't think he's with us anymore. I'm trying to remember. Max loved our cat. Like, he was just infatuated with the cat. To the point where he, like, you know how boxers do the right with the face? He would just stare at the cat and be like, and he didn't want to like jump on him or play with him or eat him or whatever. I don't think so anyway, but he would just stare at him. And he would like, at one point he jumped up on the kitchen table, and we're like, and you know, it's a giant dog. And we're like, what? And the owner was just beside her. She was mortified. She's like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's fine, you know. All right, so these are clear stickers, so I want to be careful not to, and I know Johnny had a different way of putting stickers on, and I can't remember what it is now. It was a round something, like a wizard hat or something. I want to keep the fingerprints off of here as much as I can. And I cannot see, even with my glasses up close, I feel like Donald Pleasance in The Great Escape. And that reference is going to be lost on almost everybody. Oh, that's pretty good. It still looks like it's got a bunch of... I don't know if that's intentional or not. It's not. Build screen froze. Thank you. Just keep doing that. Thanks for the heads up. I appreciate the call out. I should probably keep my eye on that more often if that's going to happen like that. Hopefully there wasn't too much of a time jump. I don't know when that froze. But yeah, you can see stickers. So far, just the one. Use a wizard hat, yep. I'm excited for our group meeting today. I got some stuff to bring. Excited to hand out some stuff. I missed the last meeting, so it'll be good to see Lego people again. See how they're doing. Make sure everybody's up on all the business of the LAN and lug events. Wing. All right, flag on the other side. I'm assuming it's number 8. Is. So where did you see the trick for the wizard hat? I think I remember you saying you learned it from somebody. And I would try, but I don't have a wizard hat. Well, I mean, I do, but it's on a figure, so I have to go find the figure. I have a Gandalf hat. Interesting. That's very cool. It's legit. I'm also excited for the meeting because I think I'm excited because somebody said they'd let me use their powered up or try it out or borrow it until Brick Rodeo. They're powered up, or no, power functions setup. They're going to bring a hub and a motor and a light. So wizard hat trick is doing the stickers, but instead of using a brick separator, you use the top of a wizard hat because it gives you a little more control, and you put the sticker on the brim of the wizard hat. Sort of the same as using a brick separator. It's just you have a little more control over it. It's not as far away from the sticker as this kind of thing. Also, hello Zissou. So yeah, it's just another way of applying it. If I ever stumble across one while I'm going through all my minifigures, I'll make sure to set it aside. Anywho, power functions. A lug member said they'd let me try their power functions and see if that worked. Because after all the snafu, extra pieces, after all the trouble that I went through, this is hilarious. I go through all this trouble trying to find a power source that I can use that is a pluggable power source, just wall power. I have to find an adapter. The adapter doesn't work with the plugs that I've got. I try all these different extensions and adapters and all kinds of things, and none of it works. So I finally get a kit that's basically a dummy, and this was just, and you guys remember me showing you this. This was just a printed 3D printed plastic piece with some wiring, and I'm guessing probably a computer chip in there that says this is 9 volt. This plug coming in here is 2 amp, 5 volt probably off the wall. Go ahead and up volt it or up amp it to 3 amp, 9 volt, right? That was probably in that. Didn't work. No matter what adapter I plugged it into, it didn't work. And they kept saying, try this, try that, try that. I was like, I have those. They're not working. So finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm not even going to worry about it anymore. I have to get something else. So George was like, here's what I use. And it was a battery pack that, or it was a pack that was basically a wall transformer with like a barrel plug that then plugged into another barrel plug that adapted into a dummy battery that you just put in there, and it made the connection. And then you fill the rest of it with dummy batteries, right? That worked great. That was fine. The cabling was a little different, so it was a matter of trying to figure out how to get all the, because I had this plan where, yeah, right. It's a 2D shuttle. I had this plan where the wiring was going to go out through the mills plating out the bottom, out the side. And then I was like, well, it depends on where I set this up. I may have to figure out how to get this out the bottom of the base plate, and I don't know how to do that. And everyone's like, just cut a corner in the base plate and run it down the middle. And I'm like, into the table? Like, what do I do if I cut that hole out and there's a table right there? Well, we'll just spread the tables out a little bit so people can run power. I'm like, but which, like, what if that doesn't line up? I've got 6 plates. How do I know which is which? So I'm just going to, we'll take a chance and see what happens. Anyway, I got it all working. I was like, okay, full test. Turn on the phone. I turned off the lock screen so it doesn't just go to lock after 5 minutes. So it should be on all the time. Plugged it in, plugged the power in, started it up, worked great, walked away. It was dead within 5 minutes. Like, it just lost Bluetooth connection or something. And so it stopped. I was like, man. So I tried it again, and this time it ran for about an hour and then stopped. And I tried it again, ran for about a half hour and then stopped. I'm like, this is not, I can't leave this at a convention and then go do a talk or a workshop somewhere and come back and have it stopped and have to every hour come back and make sure that it's working. So that's not viable. I can't do that. And I think if it were just a power function where it's an analog where it's an on-off switch, that'd be fine. But because you have to connect it to a stupid phone, the Bluetooth loses connection, right? It goes, I don't know what happened. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm going for now. So somebody in the lug I was like, please, somebody have a power functions that I could borrow for the convention. I don't want to have to spend $150 at this point just to get an old power function set up, but I don't know what else to do. Plus I may have to rebuild my model because the power functions cables are not terribly long, and I don't know how that's going to work. So, I'm hoping I get it all done in time, but I don't have much time left. So that's another reason I'm excited to go to the meeting, because as soon as I get home, I'm going to be rebuilding. And I'm going to be doing that. I don't think I'll do it on stream, but I'm definitely going to be doing that as all my free time moving forward until June, because I know it's going to be a lot of work to get it. I need to get it to where I can turn it on in the morning, go to work, come home, it's still running. Nothing's exploded, nothing's melted, nothing has fallen apart. So we'll see. Interesting. So there's a, I don't know if you saw that or not. There's a toe ball in there, and then there's a little tile with a hole in it. I'm wondering what that's for. Guess we'll find out, huh? Tile. So that's the saga. Like, it's an ongoing saga. And no matter who I ask, it just seems like I'm getting 60% information from people. I'm like, surely somebody has run a powered mock all weekend at a convention. What did you use? The problem I think I would run into in asking that is we have a train group here in Texas, the TBRR, that runs trains for conventions, and they do it all weekend. And my guess is they are going to come back with, if I ask them directly, they'll come back with, they'll come back with, it's custom train engines that they've adapted somehow. So this is gonna be rough, this one. Sorry I got quiet, but I want to make sure I get this sticker on. That's nice. Look at that. Just like most things they do, the train people, custom power, custom maybe even printed stuff, custom tables, custom ballast. Purposefully so they can run stuff for a full weekend. Because you want to be able to fire and forget that. And they do have a lot of people monitoring it, so that in case anything goes sideways, they can always go in and fix it real quick, and that's what you do. But like, I don't want to spend my whole time, and it's a collaborative build, and there's going to be a lot of people around, and there'll be other people like, you know, futzing with their own stuff. I don't want to be in the way. But so it's kind of frustrating. I just want to be able to like turn this on and forget about it. Which I don't understand Legos. That just seems like a real oversight on their part. Especially considering one of them was the powered up comes in that lighthouse, and it's like, do you just, I guess the idea is you just want to turn it on once, show people, and then not have it on for ever after that. And then every time you want to show it, you have to turn the hub on, turn your phone on, make the Bluetooth connection, and then have it do its thing. The other thing I'm worried about is getting the power functions, and then I have to get a controller, because I don't think he's got a controller that controls the speed. Because if I just turn it on, the motor goes a certain speed unless you tell it to not go as fast. So I'm worried I'm going to plug it in to see if it works, and it's going to go so fast it's going to rip the whole model apart. So I'm going to have to test it and then see if I have to buy a controller. Which, at that point, I don't mind doing that. Oh, my air conditioner's been running like all day and my eyes are already dry. This guy's going here. Still no word on our, oh, we had a slight update on our project support for all you lug people. our application is being processed. That means somebody finally took a look at it. So I don't expect to hear anything soon, but knowing how things work, I wouldn't be surprised if we got it right at the same time as our lug bulk order came in, which means if you were to do both, it would be, you know, it's a lot to come up with, you know, a couple $100. So hopefully it doesn't, but we'll see. Hopefully it's about a month apart. Let's see other Lego stuff. So what is everybody else doing Lego wise? So we got the house, the tower, teasing at a new classic space astronaut color, maybe being that turquoise-ish color. There's an article in there and on Jay's brick blog about that. Because it's got parts in there that are that color. Let's see. There's everything that came out in May. That's really about it. I don't have really not a whole lot of new stuff since Thursday. We went and saw, I think we talked about this a little, Thunderbolts. Went and saw Thunderbolts. That was quite entertaining. So now I'm waiting to see. Oh, whoops. I want to go back and watch Brave New World once it hit streaming. I wasn't able to see that in the theater. I heard it wasn't great, but it wasn't bad, which is kind of most Marvel movies now. Thunderbolts was real good, though. Thunderbolts was, we had a good time. There are a couple nitpicky things about some of the characters, and I know a lot of it got cut. It changed a few things, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Have not seen anything new yet since then. But that was recent. Cool. Yeah, that's going to clip into something. Or maybe not. Oh yeah, those are going to be engines. I bet you those will be movable. Ooh, these are cool. I haven't seen these before. So they're brackets, and they're those step-up brackets, but they're 1 by 1 by wide. That's pretty cool. I need to read New Elementary more because these bricks are always surprising me. Those would be cool for a lot of things. Small, creative bricks always make me happy because I know I can use them for small builds, microfighters and stuff. I almost forgot to take a picture or go remember what color I needed for the Q2 Stadium build. It is orange on or red on the bottom with an orange stripe. That first building, so I need to go back there and fix that. And the rest of them are also striped. There's also like a green stripe with blue below it, and then like a teal stripe with gray below it. Go back and take pictures of all that, so I know what I'm building up to there. All right, Johnny, take care. Have a good day. Thanks for coming by, as always. Appreciate you. Oh, so I may have a concussion, by the way. We were at the game last night, and kind of a friend of the Patch ladies, Cheryl and Claire. This dude was standing in front of us, and if you want to, the front office slash there's representatives from the front office that deal with the supporter section, supporter groups, and usually somebody will come by and they'll have like a stack of flags with them, and they ask if anybody wants to wave a flag because it looks good from the supporter section if there are flags being waved. So last time we were there, my youngest waved a flag the whole time. Usually I'll like when we first started going, I was like, yeah, I'll wave a flag, and about 15 minutes later my arms are tired and I'm like, nah, I don't want to do this anymore. So now when people come by and go, do you want to wave a flag? I'm like, no, thank you. But this one guy did, and he had a real big one, and they're hollow PVC pipes with flag material. It's verde and black, right? And the bigger ones you can really get whipping around because it's flexible, piping. And so combination of him really torquing this thing, and everybody's wet from everybody throwing water on each other. His hand slipped right as he was like really cranking it over to one side, and it hit me and Cheryl. Hit Cheryl in the face and hit me square on top of the head. And I had thought, because I was kind of distracted about something, I was looking at Rowan or something at the time, and it just went whack right on top of my head. And I thought somebody had thrown something and hit me, or somebody behind me, like their arm came down or they fell or something. And so I'm just like, I immediately start throwing elbows because I'm like, what the heck, And they're like, are you, everybody's like, are you okay? And I look over and he's like, this dude's mortified. And so we ribbed him about it a little bit. We were all fine. But after that, we're like, I don't know, man. I don't think I can, I don't think I can see straight after that. Are you? Does everybody, kind of funny. The dangers of the supporter group. But it was a good crowd. We had some kids behind us. And I say kids, they're all in their 20s, I'm sure. But they were having a really good time, and they weren't like jerks about anything. And that's always good to see. We were kind of coaching them a little bit about, all right, here's where we're going to throw some water, and here's what you do with the chant, and all this kind of stuff. So it was a very fun night. Except for we didn't get a win. But we also didn't lose. We have a chant after we take pictures. At halftime, we go over to this one section, all the people that have battle vests. And we go over there and we say, beer, water, 3 points. And we're going to have to change it to beer, water, 1 point, and you'll be happy with it. Yeah, so far this is all system brick. I think the plane might have a little Technic in it for stability and the wings. But I don't know. We'll have to see. What else is going on? The Superman trailer is out. If you haven't seen the Superman trailer, it looks pretty good. I'm excited for that. I like that Nathan Fillion's going to be Guy Gardner. I think that'll be kind of special. Be nice to see him chewing up scenery again. There's also a trailer for the Ironheart series on Disney Plus, which I'll watch. It's not like high on my list of the things I've been looking forward to, but the trailer looked good. I almost feel like that show specifically may not be for me because of who I think they're trying to get in the audience for, but I'll still watch it. Interesting. Okay. This is interesting. That bracket is under there specifically. It's too white. Specifically to hold that plate up. There's a bracket there. I don't know if you can see that or not because of the glare. There we go. It's specifically to hold that up. It didn't do a very good job because I was really leaning on it. But, I've never seen that before. I always get mad because I feel like it's in the way, but they're using it. They're using it specifically because it's in the way. So that's some fourth level 4D chess going on. Am I missing something here? Oh yeah. When did I miss that? Right there. So excited to put that little other bit on that I missed that. I will say one thing for this design that they're doing, it's very compact and they're doing a really good job of changing brick direction and getting bracket math to work really well. It's always something I've struggled with is bracket math. And this is why they pay them the medium dollars as designers to really dial that in. Very impressive. So I think today is Victoria Day. If you're Canadian. Oh, tomorrow is. Tomorrow is Victoria Day. It's a federal Canadian public holiday observed the last Monday preceding to honor Queen Victoria, who's known as the mother of the Confederation. So if you're Canadian, tomorrow is basically Memorial Day. And then we have Memorial Day a week after that. So I didn't realize that was going on. I didn't know about Victoria Day. Austin FC played Vancouver last night. So it's one of the rare times where we're able to get the Canadian national anthem, which I like the Canadian national anthem. I think it's great. And the lady who sang it did both right together, like there weren't two different people doing the anthems, and she did a really good job with it. And of course, I was the guy in the stands going, "Now do it in French." I don't know if that's contentious or not. Like, I know sometimes they do it in French because French is also the second kind of language of Canada. But I don't know if there's any contention to it or not. Bow, 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 bow. Oh, got some more stickers incoming. Stickers like this bother me. These little bitty, like there's nothing to these. You couldn't do this as a not even a print, but I guess it's an integral look, integral look for the shuttle, having these like specific nozzles right here, but right. Ah. Alright. So we kind of got away with a little Barks for Beers this year. We didn't get a whole lot done. We only got about 12 days left, so I'm hoping that before the end of the month we can do a few more breweries. Because we've only visited the ones in Pflugerville so far. And then went over kind of on metric. So I haven't been to a whole lot of places. But some of these are, you know, they're a little drive out of town, or they're on the south side of town or something. And the other thing is Beth works weekends. And this weekend specifically she didn't. And I've got a whole bunch of stuff going on. So we just really haven't had a chance to. I might take it upon myself just to go do it myself. And just say, here, tonight I don't have anything going on. I'm going to drive out to this brewery. Y'all are welcome to go. And if not, I'll sit by myself and have a few beers. No reason I can't do that. No reason at all. Other than I think I sunk most of my beer money into this set for the month, so can't really do a whole lot. This is really good shaping. There is an older set of this. There's a really like old 80s set of the plane and the shuttle, and it's blocky because they didn't have quite there were, I mean, there was done at a time where I don't think there were any curved slopes of any kind. So the fact that these are now as nicely shaped as they are, you know. Pull that up real quick after we get done with this bag. I want to see what the old one looks like. I mean, this is really nice looking. Those engine cowlings are really nice. Got some extra pieces. So real quick, let's look up keyboard. Lego Shuttle airplane, because I don't remember what it was called, the old city version. So this was the old one. Set 6544. And I mean, this still has, it's still a decent set. It probably didn't have a whole lot of pieces. 1995 even. That seems real late to me. This feels like an earlier set. 342 parts. Shuttle Transcon 2. Now that's a name. But I mean, you know, it had 2 minifigures, 3 minifigures, had a satellite, a lot of play action. The shuttle had landing gear. There was a little towing cart for the plane. You know, not bad. This is probably a whole, this tail piece back here for the plane was probably one piece. The wings, I think, are probably like one piece across. So yeah, I mean, still a solid set. I know a lot of people had this. And that's a pretty good, you know, minifigure there. Probably one of the first to have like some extra on the eyebrows and stuff. A little microphone. Solid little minifig astronaut there with the closed helmet. Just really cool. Anyway, so that's that. I know that, so this is not the first time Lego's done this. On to bag 3. Yeah, my eyes are getting real tired and dry. Too much screen time maybe this weekend? I played a lot of Claire Obscure. That game was, it's both addictive and frustrating. Being an RPG that, from what everybody says, is a Dark Souls type RPG. Relies heavily on parries and counters, dodges, and I'm just not good at it. But I'm getting better, but the problem is I'm getting better as like the game's almost over. But I guess the timing is right. At least I'm good toward the end where it's more important. Also, I thought there's a basic story to the game, and I'm not going to give too much away because I want people to be able to play it. But you're an expedition, and you're trying to find this thing that is impacting your world, and you go on this big quest across different landscapes to get to it. And you finally get there, and you fight the thing that you're supposed to, and you think it's over, and then the story kind of unfolds, and you're like, oh, interesting. And then it goes into an epilogue, and you're like, okay, cool. Hi. Sure.
Not like scandalous or anything.
No, the cat, or the big dog and the little dog. So this is the little dog that we're... God, your phone is so gross.
Got cracks, dude.
This is the little dog that we're sitting. It's hard to see in the reflections, but he's a little... He's that little guy right there. Frenchie Shih Tzu. He's a
French bullshit.
He's a French bullshit.
I don't know if you can say that.
I can now. His name's Loki. He's adorable.
Loud.
He is loud. I think he's only loud because our dogs just don't bark. Our dogs only bark when there's a doorbell.
Well, Frenchies have that kind of like that bark that shouldn't fit that much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a lot bigger than it needs to be.
Can I ask you one more question and then I'll do it?
Sure.
Are you leaving right after this?
I'm leaving at about 1:15, so about an hour after this. What do you do you need me to do something?
No, I was just
I mean, you can. I was either gonna make something for myself or go hit like Popeyes on the way or something. Get a chicken sandwich. This is interesting. Yeah, just let me know. So this is there's a bar here and there's clips in there, but I'm not really sure how this is supposed to go in there.
sorry, I'm gonna ask one more question.
Of course you are.
Do you want me to wait to put the
There we go.
back on the couch?
No, you can put the blankets back on the couch.
Get all over them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. If you want to fold them up in little squares and put them on like the day bed or just the top of the dryer for now, just fold them up nice so they don't get all weird and wrinkly. And then yeah, we can put them down before Dan and Dara get here. So that was a really interesting fit. I'm barely able to get that in there. It has to line up with 2 bricks on either side here, so that's a tough spot for that bit. So when you get to build that, just be aware of that. And more of these 3 high instead of 4 high sloped cutout bricks. So more of these new pieces in here. So yeah, so I get to the end of the game. I realize I got distracted there for a second. And what I thought was the end of the game, and there's a prologue and there's an epilogue. Prologue. There's an epilogue and everything, and they're doing. Oh, this is gonna be a bit. They're kind of wrapping up the story, and I'm like, okay, cool, I get where this is going. And then suddenly, the story takes this weird turn. And I should have known it was Act 1, Act 2, and then epilogue. I'm like, okay, well, that seems like a weird structure, but I'm okay with that. And then, like the music, you hear the music kind of go up, zip, 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 right? And the screen goes blank or black, and then it says epilogue. And then the epilogue gets erased, and it says Act 3. And I'm like, oh, what? So it turns out that's not all you needed to do. There's way more story. And now you got to fight something. You're fighting, instead of fighting the thing that's threatening the town that you live in or the world that you live in, it's basically threatening, it's something that's, you've created this existence and now you're trying to save it. And I'm like, what? So crazy. But again, beautiful game. A lot of fun to play. Slightly addictive because I'm just like, I wake up and want to go play it. But there are mechanics about it that I don't like. Some of the inventory management stuff is not fun to do. It's kind of a chore. And I don't quite understand all of it. I feel like I'm just clicking buttons to make sure that everybody has the highest level stuff, but that's not always what you need. And there's just so many options for customizing your character's abilities and stuff that it becomes a little overloaded. And you're like, I don't even know. Like, it's hard to keep track of what would be the best build out and everything. Hello, Never Too Old. How are you? Thanks for coming by. Happy Sunday to you. We're doing the Shuttle carrier aircraft today. As a space nerd, I am very excited for this. I remember watching this on the news. The departure and landing, the departure from, I want to say it left from somewhere in California, like Jet Propulsion Labs or something, or maybe even Martin Marietta. Maybe it left from, because there was a Martin Marietta in Colorado. Maybe it left from there and then flew to, the idea wasn't this was going to be one of the orbiters. This was basically a test to see if it worked. You have an Autobot tattoo on your thumb? Cool. I figured out what I want for my last 2 over here, because I've got to balance them out. So I'm gonna get Voltron, and I'm gonna get Last Starfighter, and then I'll be done. And then I think I'll probably do on the back side here in between, I'll do a big Colorado Avalanche, and then on this side I'll do a either the White Tree of Gondor or the Leaves of Lorien. I think the Leaves of Lorien. Those are the big ones. And then I'll be done. And I don't know how old I'll be when I get all that done, but that'll be it. Decepticon on the other? Cool. Of course. The way to do it, man. I really almost didn't want an Autobot. I went back and forth between wanting a Decepticon or not. As a kid, I liked the Decepticon toys better because they were jets, and I was really big into fighter jets at the time. But I liked a bunch of the Autobot characters. Sideswipe and Sunstreak were brothers. Me and my brother would get Sideswipe and Sunstreak toys for each other. I liked Blue Streak. I thought it was a cool car. It was at the time in the 80s, that was a hot car. So yeah. Silverhawks, that'd be a good one. I want to do Mask. I wanted to do Mask, but the Mask logo is way too complicated for a small circular tattoo. I even if I was like, I put it into an image program and was trying to like dumb it down a little bit, and I couldn't. So, but that would be one I'd want if I could figure it out, because Mask was always my jam. And Centurions, but Centurions again is a very complicated image to try to get in there. Luigi Vercotti, hello. Do you know anywhere that I can buy a wearable metal replica of King Arthur's steel plate gauntlets as seen in Monty Python, or ones that look quite similar to them? No. I feel like this was asked before somewhere, and I can't remember if it was on stream or just like a comment on something. I don't have any idea. Wearable metal replica of King Arthur's steel plate gauntlets. Nope. Not a clue, man. Sorry. But thanks for coming by. I appreciate it. I wish you luck in your search for those. I have over 4,000 Transformers. Last one I bought was a 88-pound, 4.5 foot tall metal. Oh, wow. Yeah, we had, as kids, we had Metroplex, and we didn't get the Decepticon version of it. I forget what he was. But we did have Omega Supreme. That was always fun because there was kind of a train system that you could run stuff around. Yeah, I would look on Etsy. I would look on Pinterest. I would look around to find out if somebody already has them, like some cosplay accounts, and see if anybody's already done it and where they got it done. That doesn't sound like something you just go to like a site and they'd already have it. That does sound very custom. So we got 2 of these. I'm gonna do both these at the same time. Ow. Triptychon, that was his name. Yeah, we didn't get Triptychon. We had Metroplex and Omega Supreme. And then our parents are like, that's too expensive. You guys are on your own. We did have a lot of other stuff, a lot of Gen 1 stuff when we were kids. And of course, you know, we played with them to death and trashed them, and they never survived. And so now looking back on it, you're like, man, I wish I would have kept some of those. My Beth's ex was into Transformers a lot and would go to shows, and he knew all the people around town that were sellers and buyers. He's like, I know that's weird and everything. And I'm like, you're talking to the guy who does Lego stuff. So no, it's not. Okay, I think that's all good. Old school triple convex wedges. Nope. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it gets to be like that. There's a handful of microfighters that I want to do, but they require minifigures that are like either out of the box expensive, like um where whatever set they came in, they only came in one set, or a custom job. And a couple of them, like I got a couple custom figures, Star Trek figure, and a Red Dwarf figure. But I think each of them was like $15, which I pay for custom work like that. It was good work. They looked great. No one else was doing it. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll buy that for $15. That sounds great. There's one, because most of the time it's an existing model. They're just doing a different print on it, and that's easier to do. The one that I really wanted was there's a series of episodes in the Clone Wars where there's a blockade that they're trying to get, a blockade above Felucia, and they're trying to get supplies down there. And it's being blockaded by all these CIS ships. And the guy running the blockade's Admiral Trench, and he's a spider, basically. He's an upright, got the big spider. I forget what these are called, not mandibles, but they're called something. And then he's got like a couple extra legs, and he's got this big cloak, and he's got spider eyes. And I'm like, oh man, that'd be really great. And I don't think Lego made him, and if they did, it was like a headpiece that they put on him, maybe. Anyway, there's a guy who did a custom print of him, and it looks really good. And it's kind of like the double tall torso with the extra arms, and then he made like a custom coat and a custom head. I'm like, wow, that's really good. $200. I'm like, I really want this, but it's just for a microfighter. I don't know that I'm going to do $200. Not when new stuff is coming out all the time with third party. Stop by now. I'm like this close to getting some third party Lego stuff too, just to check it out. Like Funhole and things. I think Funhole said they were changing their name too, and we're all like, really? Why? Because you don't have you have a goofy name? Oh, whoops. Oh, it went back here. Okay. And I know these are older pieces, but I love the kind of the squared off nose cone there. Like it would make sense for Lego to be like, we got a new piece coming out that's a rounded version of this, but it still makes it feel like that looks right. It just looks right. I wish someone would come out with a Captain Power again. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I wish would come out. This is 13. Need to start building these with gloves so they don't all get fingerprints. I have never really been I don't care that it's got fingerprints kind of guy, but sometimes I'm like, man. Also, if you were curious, and I know I didn't say this up front, but this shuttle is the Enterprise. This was the first. So an ex and I got into one of our biggest arguments ever, and this will give you an idea of what kind of nerds we were. was, what was the very first shuttle? And I can't remember who we were on with each other, but one of us was like, the Enterprise was the first shuttle, and the other one was the Columbia was the first shuttle. One of them was because the Enterprise was never an orbiter. It was built to be one, but it never was never launched. Wow, he is giving somebody lip over there. I don't know if you can hear him in the background there. So that was one of our big fights, was which one was the first? And it's like, well, this one was the first shuttle, but it never went into space. So does that count as an orbiter? Oh man, upside down. Shoot. New class attack shuttle. What about the new class attack shuttle? Do you know where my name comes from? Luigi Vercati. Monty Python's Flying Circus. No, I don't. Sorry. The new class attack shuttle is it the one with the ball on the front and then the 3 wings? New. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just a clone attack shuttle. I've heard Monty Python Flying Circus. I mean, I've heard of Monty Python, and I've seen most of the show and the movies. It's just been a while. It was never really my bag. Like, yeah, this is a good shuttle. I like this one. This is one of my favorites. I was never into Monty Python as much as everybody else. It was fine. I like the absurdity and the creativity of it. I just didn't get, like, there was a lot of humor that I didn't get. I didn't know why it was considered funny. I thought it was kind of dumb. But they did have individual jokes, and the commentary about stuff was very funny. So there are things that I did like about it. But that's like any sketch comedy type of thing where they're putting stories together that, you know, sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. Yes, close these now. Okay, there we go. Bag 4. What time is it? Okay, cool. We got through 4 bags in an hour. That's what I like. Tried J-Star, just did the Robotech Macross SDF-1 main base over 55,000 bricks for $200. Cool. All right, yeah, cool. I'll check some of that out. I do want to be somewhat purist for like the mocks that I build, but I'd be willing to, because I also don't want to mix parts too much. But I'd be willing to try some builds for some other ones. I have somewhere around here a really old Chinese knockoff called Hassanhe, which built these little houses. Do you know the houses of the world that we got? They're kind of like that. But they're all these like, they're knockoff Lego. They're also knockoff brand stores. So it's this street full of these little stores, and you just clip them all together, and it's a nice street of shopping. And but it's all like, they don't say Pizza Hut, but it's got the logo. They don't say Coca-Cola. They say like soda or something, but it's got that logo. And then the Apple store is a pear, and the Starbucks just says coffee, and you know, but they all look like those stores. And they were like like $6 each, but then you'd have to pay like $5 shipping for each one of them. So I have like 6 or 7 of them, and I wanted to get more, but I kind of lost track of what I was doing with it. So, but they were fun. So not totally above doing it, just haven't really got around to it. I know Johnny has been really liking the fun hole stuff. He did one that was good. Cliff did some as well, especially if it comes with lighting and it's built to accommodate that lighting. It just seems like it's such a no-brainer for people to try out.
Getting my steps in by following them around.
Yeah. Hey, would you do me a favor? You can leave this box because I think the cat likes it. Can you put that box in the garage, just on with all the other boxes? I'd appreciate it. He always wants to stay about 10 feet away from you too. He's like, I'm cool right here. He'll follow you, yeah. I'm gonna follow you, but I'm staying 10 feet behind you at all times. Sub-assembly required. Here is going to be, this is going to be your thrust mounts. I'm going to already kind of guess. This is where the thrusters are going to go. Because there's 3 of them. And they're going to be vectored. Swivelable. This probably will go in the back. Yep. Everything fits really snugly. That's what I'm liking about this so far. It's really good fit. All this is a really tight build. And then we got 2 cones. Uh-oh. Illegal build technique. As far as I know, you're not supposed to put a stud like that inside a Technic piece, but these are open studs, so they probably will collapse a little bit. Like that. Times 3. Who am I talking to? You guys? Oh, over here, my wife. My wife. She is... We're babysitting, we're dog sitting for a friend. She's just following, she's like, I'm gonna get my steps in just by following him around. Because he's just roaming the house. No harm, no foul. Oh, flip that over. Times 3. Well, I'm a little sad that we don't have retractable landing gear for the shuttle, but that's okay. Right, yeah. Every time one of those happens where I'm like, The first time they put a tile in between studs, I was like, oh, okay. And then, you know, you find out it's because the tiles are actually thinner than the plates. So it doesn't stress the studs as much as it would if it were a plate. So not illegal. Oh man, my thumb is hurting off this one. That's extra. I already got 6. Easy peasy. This very much reminds me of like city system builds. Underside, the bottom of something is underdeveloped. You just stick it on there. This goes here. I think probably the landing, and there might be an explanation for this. I think the landing gear for the shuttle was extended and then like fastened to the aircraft to provide support, because it was designed, you know, the aircraft was designed, or the orbiter was designed to be stable on these pieces of, on its landing gear once it was open to carry the weight. So no reason to use that as part of what fastens it to the larger aircraft. But I'm not an engineer, so. These, I want more of these. Like, I like these, like 3 high bricks. I wish there was a 2 high brick. I think there is, and I want more of them because I'm constantly like building things with like 1 by 1 bricks. And sometimes it looks good if you're building like walls and buildings and things where some division stonework looks better, but sometimes I just wish it was one solid piece. Ooh. Ew, ew, ew. These are cool. These flag pieces that are like isosceles instead of like a right triangle or a square. So those are cool. I'm excited about that. So yeah, so this was 4 bags, and there's 16 bags, and this was 4 streams. So this will be 4 more streams after this. 3 more streams after this till this is done. Who's Captain Power? Captain Power was a, I don't even remember if I watched it, but it was an 80s, mid to late 80s show that this guy had a power suit, and he fought robots. That's all I remember. Like, he looked like if Daft Punk were a soldier. Like, it was that kind of mask, and then like black underneath with like shiny kind of, but kind of like RoboCop a little bit. Like I said, I don't remember watching it. I just remember it was on. I don't think it got more than 1, maybe 2 seasons. That's what happens when you're old. You start forgetting the things you didn't know you knew. Oh my God. So there's a guy on TikTok I follow. He's my age, and he covers, like, he'll cover his whole season is like, he'll cover a show for X amount of time. And the last one was Buck Rogers. And I used to love watching Buck Rogers, but now I realize my memory of Buck Rogers is much better than the show. Like, he's going back and watching this show, and I'm like, oh, this is terrible. Why did I ever think this was good? And now he's doing old Mission Impossible, which isn't bad, but it's still kind of like, yep, this kind of doesn't hold up. It's still a little clunky and whatever. And there aren't many old 80s shows that are still solid. Some sitcoms maybe, but not many. So that's like that. That's like that. Ooh, that's weak right there in the middle. That's going to come apart. Hopefully we'll get some stability here in a second. Even going back and watching like Thundercats, we all remember the intro being like, yeah, this cartoon was rad. And then you watch the actual cartoon, and first of all, it's an acid trip. Most of the time, it's just crazy. But it's also like they put all their effort into animating the opening sequence, and then didn't care at all about the actual cartoon once it was going. All right, so if we wanted to, we could take the landing gear off and put it in here, and that's what these upside down bits are for. And then you take the thrusters off and put those back in there, and then put the thrusters in there. Okay, so that's what we're doing now. So this is gliding in on its own power shuttle, right? This is after it's been launched, thrusters, landing gear. So now to get it mount ready, we're gonna take all this stuff off and put it all in here and stow it. So take all that off and we'll put it all in here. I like that they do this. I always like, we used to build spaceships like this where it's like, you take this piece off and it becomes a camp thing, or this becomes a power unit, or this becomes a whatever. I'm a little sad that the internal stuff isn't more for a satellite, but I guess that'll come eventually. Oh, and that doesn't just want to stay on there very good. Take that off. Oh, is this going to come off easily? Nope. Kind of have to grab all three of them to pull that off there. Thrusters off. Put one thruster in here. Another thruster in here. This guy on top. That was one of the first things we built. And then this guy goes in here like this. And then close it all up. Sort of. Okay. Now we're going to build this is an aerodynamic thing to help the plane fly. So we're building another little sled on the back to hold it all in place. Interesting that it wouldn't fly really well without this. It's a weird brick to just cover up. That this little bit would help the plane overall fly with it attached. Like there must have been some big eddy currents with those thrusters right here. Or they wanted to keep the thrusters, the nozzles safe because they can get damaged easily and you don't want that to happen. I'm sure it was explained earlier in the build process, but I didn't see it. And I don't want to knock on wood or anything, but the camera, the table camera, has held up for a good long while. And I'm going to say that, and it's going to come apart on me. Oh, wait. Nope. So, Missy, did you get something built for the meeting today? You and your mom? I'm interested to see what everybody. I don't ever see a lot of flowers being built, even though it's a very popular theme. So I'd be interested to see what people did, or trees or whatever. I think Frankie built one time, or Bart, and they were very good. I am bringing my Ent, my Treebeard remodel, and then some microfighters. So I got some microfighters done. Because you can't vote on, doesn't matter if anybody votes on mine. I don't win anything anyway. Can't vote on a rebrickable model. That's cheating. Oh, good. That's very cool. I'm excited to see them then. And hang on to them for a little bit. Maybe we could use them at the library thing too. Interesting clip bar angled. This is what they're talking about with getting the right angles for the the shape of everything. Yeah, I'm going to save mine for the library too. No reason to take it apart. I'll have... I feel like we've got a good group of people going. We got me and you and your mom, George. Wasn't Enrique, but it was somebody else that he's been to another library event. And then one other person. I can't remember who. Oh, Matt. Matt with the really nice high school build the last time. That was like sectional and everything. Cullen or something like that. He'll be there. That is very nice. Look how nicely that comes together in a point there. So if you're looking for ways to make angled shapes, that's really great. The problem then is we're going to see how they fill in that bottom part or the top part. Swivel plate, good start. Brian, yeah. Costello said he'd be that. So, I mean, that's a good group of people. We may not need a whole lot from each person. There'll be plenty of room. And I like the idea of if there's a lot there, I don't have to like rush home and grab more stuff to bring to set it up. To fill out the table. Because last time I like felt like I had to go home and get a few things to have more of it available. But I think we'll be good. Lasso, maybe. I don't remember if he said he was officially going to do it, but I think early on he said he'd be there. I think there's something crawling on my neck. And of course, once I think it, then it's going to be there forever. This is a little more hefty than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, that'll be a good group of people. I will definitely bring stuff to hand out, some loot for the people who will be there. Because that's what the loot is mostly for. And hopefully I've got 5 of something or 6 of something that I can use. Okay. Yeah, they're really getting their money's worth with angles and jumper plates and such. So I don't think I'm going to open a new bag. I think I'll just call it after this. Extra wheel here. So this will be 4 bags is good. We'll try to do 4 bags every time. So this will be 4 streams worth of building for the next 2 weeks. And yeah, I think I'll be back Thursday. Provided nothing's going on. Yeah, I don't have anything Thursday, May 22nd. I thought I did, but maybe not. Extra pieces. This goes in here. Yeah, despite them being on a bar and hinge, they're not really moving them. They're just doing that so they can attach a piece to it. So this is your engine cowling piece that goes on the back to keep it aerodynamic. I think these covered the engines. I don't think they replaced the engines, but I don't know. Completed 5 crewed. Okay, here we go. The Enterprise completed 5 crewed free flights as tests. The first 3 were flown with the tail cone, and the final 2 had mock-up engines installed instead. All right, well, there you go. And that's it. We got through the first instruction booklet. Good shape, good size. It looks like the shuttle. You know, this is the one time I'm excusing the the underside being flat, because in reality, the underside of the shuttle is very flat, covered in heat dissipating tiles as it entered the atmosphere. And again, all the extra engine and gear and stuff are stowed inside. So that's pretty cool. I do wonder about some of these connections, these clips along the side here. They came loose while I was doing stuff. So, all right, cool. Well, we'll keep working on this for the next 3 streams probably. And at the end of any one of these, I might break off and build the Space Baby. So we'll do that at some point. So yeah. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you coming by. I hope you have a really good rest of your weekend. And check out Discord if you want to hang out with some people and post your builds and your models and news about Lego and anything else. Feel free to stop by. Yes, we'll see you at the meeting in a couple hours. So have a good day, everybody. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.